we're entering a period where we're going to have a digital superintelligence. The question is, will it be humanity's savior, our support structure, or our foe?
I believe that it will be, that I'd rather live in a world with a benevolent digital superintelligence where it's keeping us from destroying ourselves, right? Because I'm not concerned about artificial intelligence, I'm concerned about human stupidity for the most part. And I think people don't realize how insanely fast we're moving. We need challenge in our lives. We need to work for what we accomplish. And if it's just given to us, how will we feel? So one of the things is like, what happens when we have this much automagical and we even have a BCI implant and we think it and it happens? What's life like then?
I use it in my own life constantly. Its ability to help me educate myself is unparalleled ever. It's just absolutely incredible. When I look at the societal impacts though, I immediately am like, uh-oh, like this is really gonna be a problem. There's gonna be a massive job transition happening. So you're gonna get a ton of graduates going into the world like, hey, there's no jobs. You're gonna see people shift into more trades. So being a plumber and things, that it's gonna be harder, at least for now, before robots hit. Regulation is gonna start to escalate. So the masses begin to panic. They begin voting people into power on this issue. Will you stop or at least dramatically slow AI?
But the AI stuff will actually allow us to uplift ourselves very quickly. And, you know, we talk about scarcity to abundance. I think AI gets us to abundance very, very fast. And I think that's, for me, the most exciting and optimistic side of things. We have two futures in our world today, either a Mad Max future, which you can see playing out in Gaza or Ukraine, or a Star Trek future, where we have abundance and we're operating on a much more highly conscious basis, etc. And so which future do we pick as a human species is the choice that's in front of us right now.
Once AI it crosses the uncanny valley, and it's no longer like ChatGPT giving you the lamest dad jokes ever, and it is Blade Runner, motherfucker. And I, without doing a special test where I put a thing up against your iris, I can't tell if you're real or not. And in fact, you don't even know if you're real or not. Now, again, consciousness is a red herring.
Okay.
Who cares? It is just like hanging out with your friend, except for one really brutal fact. They're better than you at everything possible.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, well, this really sucks, because meaningful pursuit would be that I need to go do a thing to help me and mine. But energy costs have dropped to zero because these things are so damn good at everything that now, why would I go do that? Because we can just get an AI to do it way better than me.
Yes.
That kid, when he's, or adult, when they're interfacing with an entity that is better than them at everything, they're gonna be like, how do I have meaningful pursuit? And the answer will be, you get meaningful pursuit in the next life. The question isn't how should we conduct ourselves? The question is, how do you structure a mind that will conduct itself in a useful way? Because that is literally what we have to do with AI. Like, for instance, do you have to give AI ethics? Like, is ethics a necessary way to bound an intelligence? Where you said intelligence makes everything better. I think that is a hard and fast, absolutely not. I think intelligence is agnostic. I think that there is something uniquely human that creates this value system that we all recognize as like, oh yeah, that's amazing. So I think that we exist in a set of values, and from within those set of values, the way that we live seems perfectly normal. Those set of values arose because of the way that our mind works and the things that we are pushing ourselves towards, which I don't think is divine, and I think people lead themselves astray by thinking that it is. I think it has everything to do with evolution going, how do I keep you alive? And by the way, evolution is the blind watchmaker. There's no intention there. Evolution is not thinking through anything. It is simply a process that runs, and you get what you get. And that's why I think our minds are built in a certain way, first for movement, and then we already covered this, it goes down the line. When people try to interpret the world by going, oh, but this is divine revelation, that's where things fall apart. We have this problem in, call it middle America, where manufacturing jobs have gone away. So for that normal, just sort of everyday person, I want to have a trade, I want to go out into the world and get something done. Is AI going to be useful to them, or are they going to get replaced by robotics?
So I think that, we have to stay creative and keep dreaming about like a better future and how to kind of improve things for people. But I think that, particularly for kind of the people in the world that are on the struggle bus, who are living on $1 a day or, kind of subject to all kinds of diseases and so forth, life is going to get like radically better for them.
So we're going to see a decentralization of, company creation. So there might be more jobs net, but there needs to be a generation of people that know how to use these tools, that are trained to use these tools. If you're in college right now, you should spend more time than you're studying for your exams knowing how to learn these tools. Instead, what you need is to work at a higher level. You need to work at a systems level. So people who are good at systems, like what we used to call architects, everyone need to become an architect now. And so a lot of people will not adapt, and I think they might lose their job. Really, the coding agent revolution is huge. It's really
How many people do you
huge.
think that it puts out of work?
It's hard to know, but if I can hire one business generalist that is very good at managing agents, then I don't need to hire maybe a team of 5 that have someone who's like doing data, someone who's doing engineering, and someone who's doing like operations or sales or marketing. So there are people who are good at tools are already as good as 5 people. I think AI could create tremendous could create tremendous solutions. I think the more powerful something is, the more it has potential to do both.
And artificial intelligence is really, by the way, artificial human intelligence, meaning, humans looked at the world, humans figured out what it was, described it, came up with these concepts like trees and, air and all this stuff, that it's not necessarily real, just how we just decided to structure the world. And AI has learned our structure. Like they've learned language, human language, which is a version of the universe that is not an accurate version of the universe. It's just our version of the universe.
These types of transitions, I think this is the biggest transformation in the history of civilization, maybe the history of species on Earth. It's that big. And that transition is going to be very painful. They never are clean, right? Like asteroid hits and the dinosaurs get wiped out, and now you have Cambrian explosion types. I think that's the kind of transition we're seeing here.